Oh, my
I want Lamar right now.
Marcus, let it go. The NFL fined Panthers owner David Tepper $300K. I need to talk to your wife now. For unacceptable conduct, Tepper was caught on video during Sunday's loss of the Jaguars throwing a drink in the direction of fans from his open-air suite. Tepper said in a statement, quote, "I'm deeply passionate about this team and regret my behavior on Sunday. I should have let NFL Stadium security handle any issues that arose. I respect the NFL's code of conduct and accept the league's discipline for my behavior." Before we get into this, I want to mention that this fine represents less than 1% of 1% of his wealth. You got that, Mad Dog?
I do.
Okay. Is the punishment enough?
To me, it's not about the fine. I think there's probably a limit of what you can fine an owner anyway. I think it's the embarrassment that he got caught and the NFL had to do something. But this guy's a clown. I mean, let's be honest. This is a disaster for the NFL. He fired Reich. He obviously intervened as far as the Bryce Young scenario is concerned. Now he's on board saying, well, we all wanted Bryce Young. Well, evidently they didn't, because half the offense wanted C.J. Stroud, who they should have taken, and they took Young instead. And I'm not second-guessing it, because I probably would have taken Young too, but as it turns out, I'm not paid to make those decisions, and Stroud's better than Young. That's all there is to it. I know he's got more weapons, but he's better. But Tepper's a clown. Let's call it like we see it. He got Rule in. He gave him $7 million. He gave him a 7-year contract, and he couldn't wait to get rid of him when he didn't have a quarterback, and Sam Darnold didn't work out. Then he brings Reich in. He doesn't even give him the full season. If you go work for this guy, you're nuts. He is a disaster. I wouldn't go near him if I was a halfway decent head coach. And I know there's not that many jobs out there, so you want to run. The guy from Detroit, maybe he goes to Carolina because it's an opportunity. There's only 32 jobs. But if anybody goes to work for David Tepper, who has done a lousy job with that football team, who has not proved that he can be a good owner, and if you get a bad owner in the NFL, you're dead. Go ask Washington. This guy is a disaster. I would hate to be a Panther fan right now. He is a complete mess, quote unquote. He can say anything he wants. He get mad at us. I could care less. Tepper's a clown. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
I agree with what you just said, Mad Dog, but the arrogance in the statement is what I'm pissed off about. $300K is enough. You threw a drink on somebody. $300,000 is a lot of money to get fined for throwing a drink. I'm not going to make it relative, Molly, to a billionaire. I get it. What we want them to fine him $100 million so it feels good to people. $300K is a lot of money for throwing a drink on somebody. It's the arrogance in the response. I regret, and I should have let security handle it. How about I apologize for throwing a drink on a fan? It was bad and totally out of my character. This is the arrogance, though. The arrogance that Mad Dog just brought up about how he's run this organization. It's like a child playing with a toy that they have. That's how David Tepper has carried himself. And the only way we can surmise that is based off of the actions that he's had with decisions within the franchising organization and this video that just came out. The fan that got water thrown on him obviously should get the fine. They should get the money from the fine. That'll needle it even more. But it's just the arrogance. No apology. No, this is unbecoming or unfitting of what I'm supposed to represent for the NFL. I regret the action. I should have let security handle it. No, you shouldn't have threw a drink on a fan. You shouldn't have threw a drink on the people that patronize and are responsible for how you make money in this league. But that's the part for me. The fine is neither here nor there. When you're a billionaire, it's not going to be relative most of the time anyway.
I think y'all are looking at this a little bit wrong. Let me tell you something. He's clearly wrong, petulant, immature, doing what he did. No excuse for it. $300,000, $500,000, even $1 million means nothing. The man is worth $20.6 billion. I think that's the last number that I read about him. Means nothing. Okay, it's a penny to him. So that means nothing, right? So you have other people out there, and they say, confiscate a draft pick from him or whatever. I think that's a bit extreme in all likelihood. You could argue that the punishment should be, you're not allowed in the stadium. You can't watch your team for a few weeks or whatever.
That's not bad.
And that's where I say, pump the brakes. Let me roll with Roger Goodell and his thinking. Is there any punishment greater than having to be at the stadium watching this team? I don't know if there is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, let him stay at the stadium and watch them. This man took over, obviously, a few years ago and had to, I mean, I'm ashamed. This is a man that used to be associated with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh. He used to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers, for crying out loud. Considering the class that this organization has customarily been associated with, and they've had 3 head coaches in the history of its franchise, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, now Mike Tomlin. And to go from that, to go from this wrecking ball, this clearly an incompetent individual when it comes to football, knows how to make money. Hedge fund guru. I mean, he knows how to make money, no question. He just don't know how to run no damn football team. That is clearly obvious, okay? So when you look at him going from Ron Rivera, okay, to hiring Matt Rule, okay, that worked out well, right? Never got better than 5-11 or 5-12. Then you hire Steve Wilkes, but get rid of him, okay? You know, you let Wilkes come in there on an interim basis. You don't honor it when he had them looking more respectable than anybody. And then you go out there and you hire Frank Reich before he wets the bed, and you fire him before the season is even complete. And you're now 2-14. I think the punishment is really good. What they said was, okay, we're going to slap you on the wrist monetarily, but we can't do anything to you monetarily. But suspending you might be too much. Sit there and watch your team. Don't throw any water on anybody anymore, whatever. But subject yourself to the level of ineptitude that you personally are responsible for. Suck it up and deal with it. Kind of like it myself.
Not bad.
Get a fine to the fan that got water thrown on him.
It took him 29 minutes, but he got
That's
one
my
right
thing.
for a change. Stephen A.
That's my thing. Get a $300,000 to the person
Dougie.
that got the drink thrown on him.
Yo, Dougie.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm always right sometimes.
Oh.
Oh, God. Always right, even when you're wrong. Coming up, the College Football Championship is set, but will be Washington's offense that gives their team the edge. Big debate here. The Ravens, Niners looking like clear favorites in their conference. Which team looks like the